Hello friends, in today's session we will learn the brain, learn about the brain. In that, the brain is the largest organ in the body and coordinates most of the bodily activities. Mainly, it is the center of all the thoughts, memory, and judgment, and the mainly emotions, which emotions create in our the brain. Okay, the brain is contained in the skull. The approximately weight of the brain is 1300 gram and 1 to 1400 grams. In today's session, we will learn about mainly ventricles of the brain, parts of the brain, and lobes of the cerebrum. Okay, first we will see the ventricles of the brain. There are certain cavities in the brain. There are certain cavities in the brain called ventricles. Okay, these ventricles mainly filled with the CSF, that means cerebrospinal fluid. These ventricles are mainly filled with the cerebrospinal fluid. There are mainly four ventricles, two lateral ventricles, third lies between the hypothalamus and thalamus, and fourth between the brainstem and cerebrum. There are mainly four ventricles, two lateral ventricles. These are the two lateral ventricles, one in the right hemisphere and another one is the left cerebral hemisphere. Okay, two lateral ventricles in the two hemisphere of the brain, and the third lies between the hypothalamus, means between the third ventricles lies between the this one is thalamus and this one is hypothalamus. These cavity is the third ventricles. Okay, these ventricles are mainly filled with the cerebrospinal fluid, and the fourth between the brainstem and the cerebrum. Then the fourth is between the cerebrum, this one is the cerebrum, and this one is the brainstem. This part is the fourth ventricles, and this one is the first. And two ventricles, two lateral ventricles, and third lies between the thalamus and hypothalamus, and fourth one is between the brainstem and cerebellum. Okay, then the parts of the brain, they are mainly divided into four parts. This one is cerebrum, second cerebellum, then the brainstem and diencephalon. Cerebrum, they are again divided into two parts, right cerebral hemisphere and left cerebral hemisphere. And the brain, then cerebrum, and then next brainstem, they are divided into midbrain, pons and medulla. Okay, then diencephalon, thalamus, hypothalamus, epithalamus and pineal gland. Okay, then next we will see the lobes of cerebrum. Okay, lobes of cerebrum, there are mainly four lobes of cerebrum. First one is the frontal lobe, most anterior portion. First one is the frontal lobe, second parietal lobe, third occipital lobe, and fourth one is temporal lobe. First one, this one is the first frontal lobe, most anterior portion of the cerebrum, that is central sulcus, separate the frontal and parietal lobe. The main function of the frontal lobe is control motor function, personality and speech. So it is also called as motor cortex. And another one is the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe, the most superior portion. This one is the parietal lobe. This one is the parietal lobe. Most of the superior portion of the cerebrum. The main function receive and interrupt the nerve impulses from sensory receptor. Okay, then another name for the parietal lobe is sensory cortex. Okay, and the next, the third one, occipital lobe. This one is the occipital lobe, the most posterior portion of the cerebrum, receives the input from the eyes and control vision, is also called as visual cortex. And the fourth one is the temporal lobe, the left and right lateral portion of the cerebrum, that control the hearing and smell. It is also called as auditory cortex. Frontal lobe lies anteriorly, parietal lobe superiorly, and the occipital posteriorly, and temporal like lateral portion. Okay, these all about the ventricles, parts of brain, and the lobes of cerebrum.